Okay, I just clicked unmute. Is it, okay, anybody now? Can you hear me now? Okay, anything at all? You can hear me loud and clear. Well, that's good. That's good. Hey, like I said, it wouldn't be a Killbot stream if there weren't a whole bunch of technical difficulties that frankly shouldn't be there. And right now I'm just waiting for the iPad to load. That way I can pop your comments right there on the stream. So, here it is. Let's see, it'll be an upcoming. We're going to enter the studio. Gonna shut the laptop down. Sorry for everybody who couldn't hear me in the first minute, but here we are now. Should be good to go. Okay, join without Cam and Mike. Let's see, we're going to call it Tony 2 since we're on the iPad. Go! Boom, 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 down, 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 down. Love. You know, nature of love. Ministry. Everybody's talking about every day is Halloween, but I listen to that all year round. Nature of Love, that's another really good one. Ugh, all those early Wax Trax era Ministry songs, so good. Now, I don't know why. Ministry songs, so good. Now, I don't know why. Well, at least I know that you can hear me now. Reservoir Dogs cuts off the guy's ear. Can you hear me now? Oh, hey, we got a super chat already. Hell yes. Hell yes. Thank you so much. $5 for your friendly neighborhood Uncle Pete. I'd love to watch you review Deathgasm. Love all the content. I did not like Deathgasm. I thought it was fucking boring. Couldn't stand the editing. And I guess I understand that people are excited that there's a movie about death metal, but I just couldn't get into it. If you want a good metal movie, go watch Metalhead, or Melnhouse, as it's called in Iceland. Like, not only is it a great metal movie, but it's a great movie in general. Now, I know some people were whining about it in the comments section of the review I did of that movie years ago. But you have to actually watch the shit, okay? But yeah, thank you for the super chats, because this is going to help with my trip tomorrow and my trip in December. See, the legendary ghouls of Creepsylvania are coming to Asheville tomorrow. This will be the first time since 2017 that Ghoul has played in North Carolina. And I was there last time, and I want to be there this time, because I love those guys. They don't get to tour that often. This isn't even a tour, this is just a one-off stop. It's a fundraiser, I think, for a skate park. And, well, I'm excited to see it. Municipal Waste is also going to fuck you up, and Scotty Heath is going to be there as well, so can't wait to say hi to those guys. It's going to be an awesome show. And a friend of mine recommended this cat cafe. I think it's called, like, House of Black Magic Cats or something. And what it is, it's a witch-themed place that exclusively has black cats. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Oh, happy day. Oh, I got an appointment for that tomorrow. Can't wait for that shit. Good metal movies just can't be made other than Metalhead, in my opinion. Well, it's... like, I feel like the material is there, people just have to care about it. Like, for what it's worth, Metal Lords, like, the characters are kind of annoying, but you know what? It reasonably captures the essence of metal, despite being a teen movie. Let's see. Gus Howard asks, what's my favorite Batman movie? Tim Burton's Batman, 1989. Michael Keaton, the ultimate Batman. And Jack Nicholson was the ultimate Joker. Just funnier than shit. Like, I still laugh my ass off at him as an adult. Yeah, what's with that stupid grin? Life's been good to me. Fun with O. Hi, Tony. How are you? Doing wonderful. Doing wonderful. Dysphoria Software. In the Typo Negative retrospective, you had a Fallout CD. Do you still have it? Yes, I do. And that was a CDR that was printed by a friend of mine who decided to send me a few things, and that was one of them. Personally, I would love to see Fallout get an actual proper reissue. Now, why in the hell Josh Silver hasn't gotten around to doing it, I don't know. I mean, they're over here selling hoodies and t-shirts and reissues of the albums and all that other stuff, but come on, we need Fallout. You know, I'd love to hear it cleaned up, remastered, etc. Toxic Joe, every day is Halloween when you're goth, punk, metal. Yes, I agree. I got my grandmother to watch Metal Lords and she kept giving me looks. Yeah. Jolene Nagel, what's your top favorite song at the moment? I'm looking for some suggestions. Big Balls by AC/DC is up there. I'd say The Perfect Drug by Nine Inch Nails is consistently in the top 3. Song to the Siren by This Mortal Coil. Got Mirror Saw by Skinny Puppy. That's another one. Falling Snow by Agalok. Like, I tend to pick favorite albums and favorite bands rather than favorite songs. But that's just me. Damon Cranell says Heavy Trip is a good metal movie. I've been meaning to watch that. I just haven't gotten around to it. Just so much has been going on. And I've been balls deep in finishing up the new song that I've been working on for the longest time. So the latest thing has been lyrics and vocals. And I guess we're going to talk about that later in the stream when we have more people in here. But we'll see. The Busy Metalhead, top 10 albums. I'm curious as all. Okay, Entombed, Left Hand Path, Autopsy, Mental Funeral, Terrorizer, World Downfall, Dystopia, Human Equals Garbage, Nine Inch Nails, The Downward Spiral, Nine Inch Nails, The Fragile, X-Order, Slaughter in the Vatican, what else? Skinny Puppy, Last Rites. Would I say Blues for the Red Sun? Typo Negative, World Coming Down, maybe? Agalok's Marrow of the Spirit would be another one. If I look around at this wall, I'll see albums that I love to death. The Cure's Disintegration's up there. At the Gates, Slaughter of the Soul is up there. Guar, Scumdogs of the Universe. God, there's so many albums I love to death, and they're all like my children, you know? Oh, Frontline Assembly, Hardwired, that's another one. Let's see, we got Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, we've got... You know, when I end this stream and listen to music, I'm going to think of a few more, and I'm going to be like, well, fuck, why didn't I mention those albums in the stream? I don't know. Hey, we got another super chat. Fuck yeah, $5 from Soul Psych Records, also known as Grib Jenga. Let me go ahead and show off that zine since you people were so generous. Check this out. I got 2 juicy zines by Grib Jenga. For those who saw my latest video on my trip to Portland to go see Agalok, you're familiar with these. And actually, Lexi sent me a picture of my patch on her jacket earlier today, and she asked me to blur her face, but I'll post that later. But yeah, yours truly was in an article about going to see Skinny Puppy, as they are big Skinny Puppy fans like myself. Thank you, Phoenix and Lexi, for your donation. And probably Cecilia, if she's watching too. But yeah. Couple of us just stitched Killbot on our denim jackets. Yep, that's right. Tossing Joe. Am I a poser if Lords of Chaos is generally one of my favorite movies? Like, it's not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's unintentionally hilarious. I'm sure it's probably funny as hell if you're on a lot of drugs. I haven't tried it personally. I will say that for the video that I did on it, I'm glad that I did it the way I did it. I wanted to be as objective as humanly possible and not give my personal opinion on the matter. But now that enough time has passed, I can say that while it does have a little bit of value as far as, you know, reaching a broad audience, I suppose, editing footage from the movie to do the video rotted my brain cells. I saw that movie in the theater, and, like, I enjoyed the nudity, but that's really about as far as it goes. Oh, and I liked how edgy it was, too, like when Dead killed himself. Like, most other movies would have been like, oh, trigger warning, let's cut this out. No. This movie did not hold back. You know, I miss that about movies. You know, like, it's not even... Like, in the 1950s and 60s, when movies showed gore and violence, you know, there was a shock factor to it. And so when they didn't show violence, like say in a Hitchcock movie, you know, a lot of that stuff was left to your imagination, and it was worse when you imagined it. You know what I mean? But these days they don't show it, not because they want you to imagine it being bad, but because, you know, they're like, oh, we don't want to offend anybody. Fuck that shit. Be a grown-up. Do you have any favorite Venom songs off the debut? In League with Satan. Jolene Nagel. I love how you pronounce my last name. Well, how do you pronounce your last name? Zach Scheller. Did you hear the new Cannibal Corpse album? And if you did, what did you think? I heard it, and I enjoyed the guitar work on it, but at this point, Cannibal puts out new albums, and it's basically exactly what I expect. There is no reason for me to buy new Cannibal Corpse albums at this point, because it's all the same shit. Same thing with Obituary and Autopsy. I love those bands, and they're not bad albums by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm getting exactly what I expect. And these days, I kind of want to be surprised when I hear new albums by bands. 9 Inch Nails. The reason I love the new stuff so much is it keeps surprising me. You know, some people don't like new 9 Inch Nails, but you know what? I liked Bad Witch. I liked Ad Violence. I liked Not the Actual Events. Those were good albums. Like, they were genuinely good, but also they pushed boundaries. They were different from anything 9 Inch Nails had done before. So there you go. It's kind of like AC/DC. There is no reason whatsoever for AC/DC to keep putting out new albums, but I guess it's a stream of revenue for them, and even they know that whatever they put out now is always going to be compared to Highway to Hell, Back in Black, Powerage, and whatever 20 people still buy new AC/DC albums, they're expecting the same thing. They're not expecting to be blown away, they just want to hear one of their favorite bands that they've grown up with all their life. I guess that's the way you go for it. Okay, Gus Howard, Ramones. Yeah, I guess you could say that Too Tough to Die is probably in the top 15. Okay, more R. If your name's Tony, are you the rich Uncle 66 Samus? Keeps talking about... What? Rich uncle? Oh, anyway. Scoob's Confederate Grandpappy. Fought the Confederacy. What do you think of Nunslaughter? Great stuff. Great stuff. Maybe I'll catch them live someday. Hell's Headbangers, hard to beat. And we got Dan the Man giving a super chat, $5 Canadian. World Downfall was released the year I was born. Also, what's your favorite Bolt Thrower album? My favorite Bolt Thrower album is Those Ones Loyal, and it's partly because of the way it's produced. That drum sound, that bass sound, so much clarity, so much heaviness. Like, just listen to the kill chain. There is nothing wrong with that mix. Martin Kearns, incredible drummer. It's easy to understand why the band broke up after he died. God, so good. And I love the album intro, just the way it sets up the rest of the album. At First Light, you know, there's the first 50 seconds of the moody intro, and then the band comes in. And it's badass as hell, and it sets it up for the rest of the album, you know? I love albums like that, where the first song puts you in the mood to listen to the rest of it. You know, I'd say that Kiss Destroyer is the same way, you know? You listen to Detroit Rock City, and you end up listening to the rest of the album without meaning to, so... Benjamin Kovac, did you listen to the new Dying Fetus? The last Dying Fetus album I heard was Wrong One to Fuck With. And I hadn't heard anything since, so... Pete Knox, happy Halloween, metalheads. Yeah. Fuck Halloween, this is Kill-O-Ween. That's why we're doing a live stream. I remember Halloween. Na, 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 na. I remember Halloween. 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 Some Misfits for you. Picamo, listen to Tomb Mold. Yes, I do. Great stuff. I think I got one of their shirts in the Metalhead box once. Maya Rain, hey Killbot, hey, how you doing? JS Cenotaph. Only thing I find is a pain any album with bonus tracks. Like Cathedral have a ton of bonus tracks on early Japanese pressings. I like what Entombed did. They had a bunch of bonus tracks on the earlier albums, and eventually they released a compilation in the 90s with all those bonus tracks. There are a million versions of Wolverine Blues, and different versions have different bonus tracks. So all of those bonus tracks are on that self-titled CD that they put out. The one that's like a bluish-green one with the bat head. I'm probably gonna leave now. My attention span is awful. Good luck with your stream, though. Why, thank you. Thank you so much. Shapeshifter, Amorphous the Game Cat. Sup? Hey, just hanging. How about you? Hey, we got another super chat. Fuck yeah. Logan Johnson, $10. I've been a fan since early 2019, and I've been noticing that you like to travel for shows. So my question is, do you plan on coming to Illinois for any shows? Well, I did go to Chicago in 2018 to see X-Order. And part of that was because there was some drama the first trip I went to see X-Order, so I didn't get to enjoy that trip as much as I was hoping to. And so I went to Chicago to be like, okay, so this is the trip that I deserve. After all that I'd been through and put up with, and after all that I've done to help this band. So I went to Chicago, had a great time. And the second time I went to Chicago, I went for the Ministry photo book signing to meet Al Jorgensen and Aaron Tanner, who wrote this book. This is the book right here. It's pre-scripture. The visual history of Ministry. And for those who haven't seen that video, I did that video, and Ministry themselves posted it on their social media page. Tony Happy. And I still talk to Aaron once in a while. He's a great guy. And he actually helped me out on a pretty big situation recently, so hey Aaron, how you doing? But yeah, next time I go to Chicago, I would love to go to the Cold Waves Fest, because I would love to go see some industrial music and industrial fests. That'd be pretty nice. I believe Frontline Assembly played the last one, so that'd be lovely. And speaking of Skinny Puppy and industrial music, Toxic Joe says, I'm jealous you got to see Skinny Puppy's final tour. I wanted to go, but was too broke. Well, funny you mentioned that. I recently booked the Airbnb for Los Angeles when they play their final shows ever in Los Angeles. The final Skinny Puppy show ever. There will be no shows after this. No UK dates, no overseas dates. This is it after this tour. And I have a good source who's told me this, so, you know, I'm taking his word for it. You can take mine if you want, whatever. But the final show is going to be on December 5th, and it so happens to be on Ogre's birthday. That's going to be a heavy show, for a lot of reasons. I haven't booked the flight yet, but I'm going to have to do that pretty soon. The flight's actually not going to be that expensive. It's only going to be like $230. But whatever super chats come in through these live streams, and all the people who watch my videos and don't skip the ads, well, that's money that's going to go towards buying a t-shirt or buying souvenirs when I go to these shows. So I'm going to see Skinny Puppy 4 times in a row. I'm going to be at every Los Angeles show. They're going to be playing on December 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 5th. And I will be at all 4 of them. And I got a couple people that I want to meet in Los Angeles while I'm there. Maybe somebody can direct me towards some industrial and goth clubs over in Los Angeles I can check out maybe after the shows or on the 3rd, on the day off. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm extremely looking forward to it. And what sucks about it is that in 2 months from now, we are going to live in a world without Skinny Puppy. I don't want to live in a world without Skinny Puppy. But, you know, plenty of things to look forward to. Think, human beings have existed on this earth for probably 10,000 years. And we happen to live in the same timeline as Skinny Puppy. So there you go. Gus Howard, what's your favorite Ghost album and have you seen them live? My personal favorite Ghost album is Perkel, and yes, I saw them live when it was still Papa 3. That was back in 2017. I saw them at the Electric Factory in Philadelphia. My mom and sister went as well. And the reason Perkel is my favorite Ghost album, maybe it's not so much the musical quality as much as the memories that are attached to it. Like, I got that album when it came out, and it was in my truck all summer long. Even the songs that I couldn't stand at first, I grew to love them the more I heard them. You know, like Witch Image. The first time I heard it, I thought, man, this fucking sucks. But now I'm like, you know... While you sleep, everything died. Someone's flesh is ready tonight. You know what I mean? Like, objectively, Infestus Sumum is probably their best album. Like, I do prefer the spookier Ghosts. That's why Impera... It's a good album, but I felt like they played it a bit too safe with that album. Hopefully the next one, they go back to taking some risks. You know what I mean? Because I loved the saxophones on Perkel. Miasma. Okay. Jolene decided not to leave. Just imagine saying it like a German accent. Say the G with it. Okay, you're going to have to do like a phonetic spelling of your name then, because that's... Quiz. What is the perfect drug that Trent is referring to? Could be a person, maybe, that fulfills his every want and need. Maybe it's an idolized version of a person. But he was also a major cokehead around that time. So, yeah. That helps. Let's see. Toxic Joe. Anybody else find it funny that Trent Reznor makes Disney soundtracks now? He's making that money, man. Like, he's got 5 kids now because he can afford it. He's got Disney lawyers on speed dial. So no controversies are coming out about him. And if they do, their ass is sicked on these people as soon as possible. But whatever. Amish Soda, do you like Neofolk / Marshall Industrial? Marshall, you mean like Leibach? More R. 6X Samus has joked about having a rich uncle named Tony. Oh, that's cool. Shapeshifter, saw Bolt Thrower live in 2012. How was that? I want to hear what you have to say about that shit. Nasser, have not watched your videos in 7 years and your live stream was recommended on my YouTube homepage for some reason. I missed the high school days. You haven't watched my videos in 7 years? Dude, what's stopping you? My videos are getting better and better each year. I'm not even kidding. I've recently come up with a list of my favorite videos that I've done. And a lot of them were uploaded in the past 2 to 3 years. So, yeah, please. Like, I've come a long way since then. I don't know what stopped in people's hearts if they stopped watching the channel, but I genuinely believe that the videos now are better than they've ever been. So, do yourself a favor. Go watch my recent video, We Are the Wounds, The Return of Agalok. That wasn't just a video on going to see an awesome band reunite, but it was also a spiritual journey. All that stuff I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it was somewhat abridged, but it's all true, you know. I had so much shit happen to me over the summer, and I needed that trip. You know, it was just... I'll tell you something else. There have been a couple weird things that have happened since I've been home from that trip, and had they happened before the Portland trip, I would have been like, I would have been in bed all day, but these things happened, and I was like, fuck it, whatever. You know what I mean? For instance, I discovered that another friend who was not mentioned in the first couple minutes of the video had unfollowed me off of Instagram. I'm thinking, we just spoke a month ago. What the hell changed in your heart? I saw that and I was like, wow, fuck you. I don't know what is wrong with people, but whatever. Kevin Ostergren, how you doing? How you doing, man? Zoofagus, hey Tony, how you doing? Grim Reviews, my birthday is the 25th. Gonna have a typo negative cake. Awesome. Happy Torn from the Womb Day. I'm supposed to have somebody over on the 25th to lay down some vocals for this upcoming song. Yeah, so this upcoming song, may as well get this out of the way. The song is called Limerence. The lyrics are 90% completed. I'm laying some vocals down at the moment. And the idea is I want to have a woman vocalist on this song because it's a doom metal song, it's a dark song, and I feel like female vocals spice things up as far as really dark songs like that go, you know? Celtic Frost, Paradise Lost, My Dying Bride. The female vocals on those songs add so much to them. Typo Negative, Halloween in Heaven. That's my favorite part of that song, the female vocals. I've never done that before, and there are a few other things in the song I've never done before, such as a time signature change. About 5 minutes in, it's going to go from 4/4 to 5/4. It's going to be this nice big bomb explosion. Boom! You'll see. You'll see. Actually, that riff that happens during the bomb section, I wrote it while coming up with Walking Dirt. This damn good riff I came up with in 2018, and for some reason, haven't been able to fit it in a song since, but fitting it in now. Sometimes it's worth hitting the record button on your phone and saving a stockpile of riffs for that reason. So yeah, Limerence. Extremely happy with how it's coming out. Got a rough mix for it already. There are a few things I'd like to change, but for the most part, the big task this week is going to be doing the vocals. And as such, I have this DVD called The Zen of Screaming, which came out in 2005, and most of what it covers actually is breathing exercises, breathing techniques, and little warm-up exercises, I guess. Which, they do the trick as far as, like, having a normal singing voice, but also, like, if you're trying to growl and scream, it doesn't really address that as much, so... You know, there's some things that I'm having to learn off of YouTube. And the thing about growling is you have to do it for a few days before your throat gets used to it. Because I laid some vocals down yesterday, and my throat absolutely killed me. So, there you go. It's just going to take a few more minutes of practice. AG Parabellum. Hi, Tony. Hope life's been treating you better since the Agalock video. Way better. Dude, you know how at the end of the video I said things are finally good? Well, things are finally good. They're fucking awesome! Dawsome, dude! So many great things to look forward to. Seeing Gold tomorrow, seeing Skinny Puppy 4 times in December. Bell Witch is coming to Carborough on the 31st. And Lords of Acid is announcing tour dates as we speak, apparently. I haven't had a chance to look at them yet, but you know what? Let's look at them. Nah, let's not do that. I don't want to X out of the stream. Let's see. The bass player, so happy it's almost Halloween. Me too. Drunker, ooh, saw Puppy and Boston when they were here. Glad I got to see them now that you say this is really the last tour. They were fantastic. I almost saw them in Boston that first time around, and then I heard excuses, I think, so I was finally like, you know what? Fuck everybody. I'm just gonna go to New York. I don't know, like, it's funny, you know, when you deal with family members who... Never mind. Honestly, though, Rip a Skinny Puppy, they're probably my favorite goth band, and their music got me through some shit. Got me through some shit, too. Void Valkyrie, so sorry I can't stay for the whole stream. I'm at work, but my whole support man grind on. Why, thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, tell the boss to shove it. Gus Howard, go to the Rainbow in L.A. I would love to go to the Rainbow. Actually, my friend Jax, she's planning on taking me to the Rainbow. We're going to go to Hollywood Forever Cemetery there. 2 Ramones are buried there. Judy Garland's buried there. Roz Williams is buried there. Fuck, who else? Oh, Mel Blanc, who voiced Bugs Bunny. He's buried there. So, yeah. I visited a lot of graves this year. Like, okay, so this year, as far as the channel is concerned, let's see, we've gotten a lot of travel videos, and we have gotten a lot of grave visiting videos. Let's see, I visited Dave Brockie twice. I visited Peter Steele. I visited Seth Putnam, of all people. Like, wow. Very morbid year for the channel. But hey, the quality is just through the fucking roof. You know what I mean? Jesus spilt my guitar tabs. Hey, you made it somewhat early. Hell yeah. Zoophagus, are you going to see Ministry in March next year? No, I'm done with seeing Ministry live. They lip sync. I can't stand it. Fuck it. And fuck everybody who makes excuses for it, too. Did you see Danzig during their 35th anniversary? No, I did not, because the fucker won't come near me. I did get to see the Misfits last year in Dallas, Texas, and that was a fucking awesome, fantastic night. Got to meet some cool people, and Danzig, of course, was in rare form. Drunker, ooh. We need another McKay's shopping video. Wait a minute. There you go. Well, funny you mentioned that. The McKay's in Greensboro is actually moving to a new location over in Mebane that they're still building. And it's supposed to be open early next year. Now, opening day, you bet your ass I'm going to be there. And I'm even going to film a little video about being there. So, yeah, it's going to be nice and awesome. The Greensboro McKay's is 10,000 square feet. The one in Winston-Salem is about 35,000 square feet, and that's what this new one in Mebane's going to be. And I can tell you that the last few times I've been to the one in Greensboro, I could understand why they're wanting to move. That parking lot sucks ass. And trying to turn to get out of that shithole, it's terrible. With the Winston-Salem McKay's, you don't have to worry about it. Like, some days you may have to park in the very back, but you're not going to have any issues parking there. And you're not going to have any issues running into people in the aisles either. There's plenty of space. But lately, their CD selection at the Greensboro McKay's has been dwindling and sizing down a bit. And I guess it's because they're preparing as much as possible to move. So, yeah. Like, as soon as they move, we're probably going to get a great big CD section again. That's going to be nice. Alright. Did the video freeze? Black Metal ASMR is one of my favorites. Yeah, it was a controversial video behind the scenes, too, because that sparked a big falling out with me and my dad's side of the family, and I just haven't spoken to them since. For many other reasons, but that was the accelerator right there. If you want, you can Google how to say nail with Afrikaans accent. Okay, cool. Justin Stainer, Lords of Acid is announcing tour dates right now. So you're watching two live streams at once, aren't you? Because that babe that's fronting the band now, she's on the live stream, isn't she? Oh yeah, total babe. Jesus Built My Guitar Tabs. I've seen your YouTube channel. You did that Mountain Dew video and then didn't upload for like half a year, but I do like your new videos a bit more. Yeah, I got pretty depressed in 2020 because COVID happened. I was in a new living situation that I liked at first, and then it turned into a disaster. Basically, when I'm gonna give you a little abridged piece of advice. Okay, when you're dating someone, you're not just dating that person. In a way, you're also dating the family. Okay? So, even though things between me and this person were okay at the moment, living with drunks and alcoholics, that shit sucks. You know, people gave me shit when I did the Why I Don't Drink video, but, like, these people lack so much self-awareness, and they have no idea what the hell I'm talking about unless they deal with drunk people all the fucking time. That's what I had to deal with. You know, I grew up with drunk-ass fucking people when I was a kid, and I decided not to deal with it as an adult. And that was part of the reason I dumped that hoe, because, well, I didn't want to be around drunk people. It sucked. Okay, that was a little dark. Let's change the subject. JS Cenotaph. Been watching Killbot for probably 4 years now. Well, that's lovely. That's lovely. Thank you for the viewership. And if anybody would like any Killbot merch, of course, I have stickers, I have t-shirts, and I have Killbot patches. These are made by the same guy who does patches and merch for bands like Goat Horror, Crowbar, Soylent Green. He's done stuff with X-Order, and he's done stuff with Acid Bath. So, these are $6.66 a piece. You can get them via PayPal or Venmo on my social media pages if you want to send me a private message. You can also buy them off of Bandcamp or Etsy. The links are available, so go check those out. Tossy Joe, wait, there are female vocals on Celtic Frost? Yeah, I believe it was Return to the Eve. And the vegan metalhead just gave me a super chat. Doing good, bud. Me and my dad are falling out because of his dementia. Oh, dementia is a hard thing. My grandfather, we suspect that he's starting the beginning stages of Parkinson's, and that sucks. He's falling all over the place. He's a good man. He did a lot for me ever since I was a kid. So it's one of those things where it's kind of hard to watch. Okay, wow, we're 6 minutes behind on the comments. I'm just trying to answer all the comments while I can. Ball Thrower was amazing. It must have been one of their last shows at Into the Grave Festival in the Netherlands. Ball Thrower was headliner and the sound was crushing. Ooh! Is Ogre still doing his stuff on the side band, or is he fully done with music? I have a feeling that he's still going to continue to tour and do his solo project. I kind of get the feeling that Kevin Key doesn't really like touring that much. Like, Ogre's more of a touring guy, and Kevin seems like more of a studio guy. That's usually a conflict with bands. You get these talented musicians, and they love spending time in the studio and creating music. But when it comes to performing, you'd be surprised at how many bands and musicians actually hate touring. So, there you go. Butthole Surfers, that's another example. Gebby loves playing on stage, and Paul Leary, he would rather just make music. So, there you go. Ozzy, same thing. He loves being a performer and a rock star, but at the same time, I'll tell you what Gebby Haynes said. Gebby Haynes said, that hour on stage is magical. It's the other 23 hours when you're on tour that sucks. So there you go. And we got another super chat. Void Valkyrie, $5. Fucking come to the show tomorrow. It's only 90 minutes away from you. Come see Ghoul. You know, there's a reason why Killbot is the first part of the channel name, because Ghoul, Killbot, you know what I mean? I saw footage of Ghoul at Tank Crime's Brain Squeeze back in 2010, I think. And they had the giant robot, Killbot, fucking beating the shit out of people in the front row and beating the shit out of the guitar player, and I thought that was the most badass thing ever. Okay. Don Filtgens, I hope I pronounced that right. Can you show us your rarest and personal favorite record in your collection? I used to have Agaloc's The Compendium Archive. Only 250 copies were made of that. They sold it at this festival in Rome, and they sold leftover copies on their website, and that was it. I recently sold it because they started doing these deluxe versions of the albums. Here's the deluxe book version of Pale Folklore. It has a second disc, which is mostly the demonstration archive and an unreleased song. Not on anything else they've done. And so as soon as they did this, I was like, uh-oh, they're going to do all the albums like this. That means that they're going to pack it full of all the stuff that's on the second disc of the Compendium Archive. Let me sell that fucking thing while I can still make money off of it. So that's what I did. Let's see, what else do I have? I have the first two Bathory albums, the originals. And if they were available on CD, I would sell them because these are the original mixes. Non-remastered. And here is Lords of Acid, Pretty in Kink, the Kickstarter version. It's autographed by Praga Khan on the back, and basically it's a different track listing than the standard 2 LP version, and it's also pink. I think maybe 300 copies were made. And also, my name is in the liner notes and the thank yous, because I donated. So there's that. They Live, We Sleep. If certain videos you did were controversial, then they're one of the best you've done. That's pretty much how it is. Kinda. I mean, surprisingly, that video I did on Pantera reuniting last year was controversial, especially on Facebook. Dude, the Pantera fan base, They're a feisty bunch. Oh, well, if you don't like it, then go see it. Yeah, I'm not gonna go see it. That's what the fuck I just said in the video. But I'm saying that, you know, if you wanted to see it, these are the only ways you're gonna see these songs getting played by the guys who were in the band. But don't call it Pantera. It's not Pantera. I'm sick to death of people making excuses for it. You know, there used to be integrity and purity in music. You know, now nothing's sacred. You know, like, there's a difference between having different versions of a band. Like, say, you know, you've got the Bon Scott version of AC/DC, the Brian Johnson version of AC/DC. You have the different lineups of Kiss. You have the original lineup. You've got the version with Bruce Kulick and Eric Carr. You've got the version with Bruce Kulick and Eric Singer. And then you got this wannabe version that they're doing now. That's not Kiss to me. You know? Just, like, don't pretend that you're doing something that you're not doing. You know what I mean? JL, loved your video on Diabolical Full Moon Mysticism. That's my favorite black metal album, dude. That was one of the first black metal albums I ever bought. And you know what? Most people say it's the worst Immortal album. I say it's probably the most evil sounding. It's that final song that seals the deal for me. A perfect vision of the rising Northland. The way that synth comes in at the end, it comes in so strong. Ugh! Toxic Joe, honestly, I don't blame you for not drinking. I've drank beer and still prefer Mountain Dew. It tastes like piss, man. I hate beer. I hate alcohol in any capacity. You know, I just prefer being straight in general, you know? Like, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, we'll smoke weed instead. I've smoked it, and I did enjoy it, but, like, I just generally prefer being present. You know what I mean? I will say this, though. I had this one time where I smoked some ganja, listened to some Caius, and that song, 50 Million Year Trip, that part in the song where it's like, boom, meow, 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 bow, meow, 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 bow, bow, like, I listened to it, stars lined up, man. As soon as that part of the song came on, it was like, fuck. If the desert can make a noise, this would be what the desert sounds like. This song right here. It's something you can't really describe. Hey, we got 50 people in here. Hell yeah. Killbob, what are the heaviest bands that you regularly listen to? For me, it would be Mortician and Damar. I think that's how you say it. Well, heaviest bands. I'd say Nile's pretty heavy. Ball Thrower is pretty heavy. Axe Order, of course, insanely heavy. Then, of course, you got Immolation. I've been getting more into Immolation in the past year. Unsung heroes in American death metal, I think. Like, they never got as big as Suffocation, but they should have been. Benjamin Kovac, I've been trying to grow out my hair, and I wanted to ask how long it took for you to grow yours out. I've been growing mine since I was 14, and the problem is I've been to a couple stylists that fucked it up. For instance, when I told them I wanted my hair thinned, they would take one strand of hair, chop it short, and then just leave them on the other strands. And the past couple years, I've been trimming it myself, and I've been following a video as a guide, just to make sure that it's not getting fucked up. One of my favorite YouTubers did a video recently talking about her hair care routine, and she uses Adelle shampoo and conditioner, which I'm going to start using now because her hair is immaculate. But also, I use a velvet pillowcase. I use Apogee protein treatment before I put conditioner in when I'm in the shower, and I use a leave-in conditioner after I'm out of the shower. So there you go. Also, for my hair, I only wash it once a week because, well, it dries out really quickly if I do it more often than that, so. So, how about those Bandcamp layoffs, huh? Pretty shitty stuff. I've been selling my own music on Bandcamp for a few years now. And basically what ended up happening, Bandcamp got dropped by their parent company and they got picked up by a company called Songtradr. And Songtradr basically just came in and axed half of their staff. And I guess the idea is that they're going to bring their own people in. But it sucks because not only were editors for Bandcamp Daily fired, but also techs and people who were helping run the website, they got laid off too. It sucks because it's not like they can't afford to keep these people on board. It kind of reminds me of what happened to Moog earlier this year. You know, the synthesizer company, Moog. Like, basically, they got picked up by a bigger company, and that company then fired half the staff. And that sucks, you know? Like, we're living in an age where job security just isn't a thing. Like, my generation and future generations, we're not going to see what our parents and our grandparents were doing, where they would pick one job and stay with that one company for 30 years. That's just not going to happen. In a way, like, the silver lining, I guess, is that people who go from job to job every couple of years end up being happier, statistically. There are articles on this. But, like, that's what sucks about the market and the job market is, you know, you can bust your ass. You can do the best you can. You can be loyal. You can show up early, show up on time, not cause any problems, and through no fault of your own, get fired for shit that had nothing to do with you. It's bullshit, man. A lot of these people were talented people. Hopefully they land on their fucking feet, because that is some bullshit right there. Vile harpsichord. Yeah, Facebook is where all the salty boomers are at. Yep. That's why I'm not on Facebook. I do Instagram. Gothic Metal Maniac. Love your Metal Days video. Days Inspired by Metal? Yeah, that was a fun video to make. This is a man before metal. This is a man after metal. Is also a good skit video. In fact, you know what? I should do a video pretty soon on my favorite videos I've done, because I got thinking about it. I don't watch my own videos after I upload them, but you know, there are videos I've done that are genuine works of art that you're not going to see from other channels, especially not from other metal channels. Like the recent video I did, Agalok, We Are the Wounds, The Return of Agalok. You're not going to see a video like that from any of the other metal channels. I dare you to find one. Because that wasn't just a video about seeing a band reunite. That was a spiritual journey. You know, I was dealing with some bad shit, and this helped me escape from all of it. Being a metalhead. I don't smoke or anything or do drugs. I quit drinking after I realized it affected my anxiety problems. And you know what? Pot does it too. A lot of people smoke pot to alleviate their anxiety, but if you become too dependent on it, it can actually make your anxiety worse. I know it's different for different people, but it can have the opposite effect, so there you go. Cheeseman VR. Hello, Killbot. I'm finally in a stream. You're a reason I'm a fan of Slayer. Well, that's good. That's wonderful. Yo, Immolation, you should definitely listen to Close to a World Below. Yep, I have every album they've ever done. Incredible band. Not one bad album among them. Gothic Metal Maniac. Hey, Killbot, love your videos on Bolt Thrower and Typo Negative. Those are two of my favorite videos I've ever done. I consider the extended version of Typo Negative's video to be my Mona Lisa, I guess. If it's not my favorite video I've done, it's definitely in my top 3. Let's see. Ogre's Brain Confetti was another good one. The X-Order Reunion Experience was another great one. That's a 45-minute one. God, so many great ones. Could you explain a little why you're done seeing Ministry? I bought tickets to see them in March, and I had no idea they aren't good live. I don't want to overhype myself. Well, it's just a personal principle thing. Like, for one, he lip syncs, and that drives me crazy. But listen, this is. I don't have any proof that he does this, but I will say that when he started singing Supernaut the last time I saw them, I instantly recognized it as the track that's on the album. Because I've heard the album version so many times, I picked up on it quickly. And I've seen them 3 times, so he sings Stigmata the exact same. all 3 times. Same inflections, same everything. So there's that. But like the band themselves work their asses off, and Al, I guess, does a good job being a mime. And I love Ministry. It's just, what else? There was the whole Sin situation a couple years ago, which left a bad taste in my mouth because they kept blocking and deleting comments of people who were asking about that situation. And they had every right to ask it. And also, when they dropped Frontline Assembly from their tour without telling them, that made me upset. And I guess that Al and Bill must have had a wild night of drinking or something because, well, Frontline Assembly's getting ready to go on another tour with them, so there you go. I mean, it's just a matter of principle for me. I've seen them 3 times, and, you know, like, I love Ministry. They're one of my favorite bands, but also, I'm just kind of done with it. You know, I'd rather see bands that put in the effort. Like The Cure, who played for 3 hours, no lip syncing, no nothing. Had a fucking fantastic time. Not one song that was bad in that whole set list. So there you go. GoBot, what are your favorite classic rock bands? Let's see, Kiss, Black Sabbath, AC/DC, and a couple Christmases ago I started getting into Rush. So there you go. Fun with O. What's your take on grunge music? I don't like grunge. But I will say that I do like L7. L7's pretty cool. And Soundgarden, I guess, is pretty cool. I saw them live. They opened for 9 Inch Nails back in 2014. And little did I realize that would be the last time I would get to see them. Final harpsichord. Person with long curly hair here. When I blow dry, I flip downward so it faces the ground and move it constantly to make it fluffier. Like a kitty. Yes. Have you played Doom? If you did, any thoughts about it? The original Doom, I played all through college. I mean, we had our laptops out. We're supposed to be looking at the presentation on the board. I was blasting fucking cacodemons. So, I guess now would be a good time to discuss some anniversaries. Today is the death day of Paul Raven, who some of you may know played bass for Ministry for a couple years. He was also a pretty important member in Killing Joke. He died in his 40s. Poor guy, so may he rest in peace. So, a death day and a birthday. Bela Lugosi. He was born on this day. Whoa. See that flicker? Is it raining out? It was raining earlier, but I didn't think it would be... Well, it's not even raining now, but anyway. Okay, what else? There's some anniversaries. The Damned released the Black Album on this day. And 9 Inch Nails released Pretty Hate Machine on this day. Yeah! Love both those albums. You know, I used to listen to albums on their anniversaries, and then there became too many albums I cared about. And so it became more of a pain in the ass to listen to albums on their anniversaries than it needed to be. So now I just listen to them whenever. Now I get up around whenever. I used to get up on time. But that old man, he's a real motherfucker, gonna kick him on down the line. Some Guns N' Roses for you. Honestly, they consider shit like Nirvana and Linkin Park classic rock now. Dude, the classic rock channels don't even play anything new. Like, there's no reason to listen to the radio now. In the 90s and the 2000s, there would have been a good reason to listen to the radio because they show you new stuff all the time. The only way you're going to hear new stuff now is if you listen to pop music. And I'm not... Dude, I value my brain cells too much, so... There you go. There's a pretty bad storm here in the Charlotte area. Maybe it's making its way up to you. Well, hopefully it doesn't rain too hard tomorrow because I got a 3-hour drive to Asheville tomorrow morning. So there you go. May rain. Gotta listen to Bauhaus now. I've been on a big Joy Division kick lately. I watched the movie 24-Hour Party People, which I believe Grib Jenga in the last live stream told me about. It's a movie about Factory Records and their bands such as New Order, Joy Division, the Happy Mondays. And I love the style of the movie. Like, it acknowledges that there are things that are rumors and there are things that are truths, but you don't really know what's true and what's bullshit. And they openly acknowledge it to the camera. Because it's a fourth wall breaking movie. And they got the real Howard Devoto and the real people involved in some scenes as extras. Like the scene where I think it's Tony. Yeah, Tony's wife caught him getting a blowjob in the back of a van. And so she immediately went and fucked Howard Devoto of the Buzzcocks magazine. And they got an actor to play the young Howard Devoto, but they got the real Howard Devoto to be a janitor in the bathroom, and he looked at the camera and he said, "Even I don't remember this happening." So, but one thing I would love to know if it's true or not, there's a scene in the movie where Joy Division's recording She's Lost Control, and they have the drummer record the drums on the roof of the studio to get more of an open sound. That I would love to know if it's true or not. Supposedly there was a biopic about Joy Division. It's called Closer. Haven't watched it yet, but I want to. All those bands. God. Like, Bauhaus gets a lot of praise, and they should, but of those classic English bands, I think Joy Division's probably the top. Like, there's a reason why Nine Inch Nails covered Dead Souls for the Crow soundtrack. So. Not music related, but what's your favorite type of weather? I'm a winter guy because, I like things to be cold like my soul. But the way it is now, where it's jacket weather or relaxed weather and the leaves are falling and you can smell wood, hopefully your enemies are dying over the wood, it's pretty nice. Talking about Slipknot, do you like doom metal? Well, funny you mention it, the song that I'm coming up with now, Limerence, it is a doom metal song. It's over 8 minutes. And it's going to rip your fucking heart out when you hear it. Hey, I've spent years coming up with hopeful, happy, fun songs. And you know what? Now it's time to rip out your heart! Guess I'll be leaving now. Stay metal, everybody. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming and joining. Let's see, what are some of your favorite goth bands? I'm looking for some. Well, Fields of the Nephilim's probably among the top. Killing Joke, I guess, if you consider them goth, I guess their early stuff would be. Albums like Nighttime, etc. Let's see, The Wake, that's another great one. That first album, Rosetta Stone's first album. Diva Destruction, great stuff. Switchblade Symphony, incredible. Let's see, other bands. Drab Majesty, that's another one. Just seeing what bands are on here. Let's see, there's the March Violets, there's Love and Rockets, there's Alien Sex Fiend, yeah, that's another one. Got so many great ones. Well, there's a ton of great stuff on the 4AD label. Oh, This Mortal Coil. They've had 3 albums. All 3 are fucking awesome. Now, obviously, if you're a metalhead, it might not be your type of music, but there you go. Susie. Yeah, that's another one. Last summer, I got into glam rock and metal and became addicted to it. Am I a poser now? No, you're not. Just don't pretend to be something you're not, okay? That's what a poser is. Somebody asked me if I like a band, and I've never heard of a band. I say I'd never heard of them. I don't pretend, yeah, I like them. That's poser shit. Soul Psych Records. Love 24-hour party people. You're the ones who got me into it, so thank you for that. What's your favorite thrash metal album? I dare say that Ghouls, Dungeon Bastards, and Exorder Slaughter in the Vatican would be the top 2. Barua, what's up? Denisha Freeman. Hey, Sexy, how you doing? Doom Machine. Hey, Tony, how you doing? Also, cold weather makes bands like Opeth and Agalog 10 times better. Yes. Yes, it does, because, well, those are gray-sounding albums, you know what I mean? Especially Agalog. I did have a chance to talk to John once about Rush, and I told him, listen, I liked all the albums, it was just Presto and Test for Echo that were the only 2 that I didn't like, and he was like, well, actually, I like Presto, it has a very gray sound to it, it was a big influence on the Mantle. I was like, interesting. Gonna have to listen to that again sometime. Take my heart and soul. You got it, dear. Finally going to be checking out the Sam Hain discography later this month. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. We all want our time in hell. November Coming Fire. Flawless album. Children on Stun. Yep, that's another great one. Can't forget Sisters of Mercy. Yeah, I was kind of trying to stay away from some of the more trendy ones, but yeah, Sisters of Mercy too. Found my old PS3 and the entire Cure Grace hits was on there. That's cool, man. You're a fan of the Circle Jerks, right? A boss signed poster when they played Punk and Drublic in Orlando. That's cool. What other bands don't you want to see anymore since you're done with Ministry? I don't want to see Megadeth live because his voice is dead nowadays. Well, I've seen Kiss 3 times about 10 years ago. Don't want to see them anymore because he lip syncs. Suffocation I've seen 3 times, and the last time I saw them was the last tour they did with Frank, and after that show was over, I said, okay, so I had a great time. I never have to see them again, because now it's just Terrence and his hired guns. You know, I have nothing but respect for Terrence and the bass player and all the other musicians. They're great musicians, it's just not Suffocation anymore to me. So, there you go. Let's see, Obituary I've seen 7 times and I love them, but like, they're one of those bands that you kind of take for granted how often they tour. I will see them the next time they tour. It's just going to be one of those things where, I don't know, like, you know, what I think happened the last time was the crowd sucked. It was the first night of the tour and the crowd was fucking dead. I looked at my friend next to me. I was like, man, what the fuck is up with everybody? Everybody's just fucking sleeping over here and I'm wanting to mosh. That's Obituary playing. It wasn't Obituary's fault, I don't think. It was just a bad crowd. I don't want to be that person, but isn't it pronounced Samhain? Yes, it is. However, Danzig pronounced it Samhain. I guess he made a mistake when he was pronouncing the name in the 80s, and he didn't want to admit he was wrong. So he just says Samhain. Same thing with the movie Halloween 2. That part in the movie where they're at the school, the word Samhain is written on the chalkboard, and Dr. Loomis is like, Samhain. It means Lord of the Dead. No, it doesn't! But by Halloween 3, the actor who played the villain in that movie, he said it correctly. The Festival of Samhain. That was when the hills ran red with the blood of animals and children. Like, watch my video on Samhain, and it explains that name debate perfectly. Actually, it explains it first thing, because I said, yeah, we're talking about Danzig's second project, Samhain. Okay, let's get the name debate out of the way. Also, it's a great underrated video that I did too, so there you go. Great camera work, and I boosted the saturation so that way it would look great on a TV, so yeah. It's a very fall-looking video. You know what else I should do? I should come up with a playlist of fall Killbot videos. A dead crowd at an Obituary show is disappointing. You're fucking A, it's disappointing! And those guys were happy to be there, too. And, like, I don't know what the hell happened that night, but everybody was like, oh, well, I'm tired. I don't want to be here. It was like, what the fuck? I did go see Wolves in the Throne Room pretty recently, and it was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Listen, Wolves in the Throne Room, I think, are still on tour. So if they're coming near any of you, please go see them, because you won't regret it. Like, it was so intense, and the only thing that any of those guys said the whole night, well, the guitar player asked the light guy to cut out the lights, but other than that, all they said was, thank you, good night, at the end. That was it. They let the music do the talking. It was weird, though, because they have a new EP that they just released, and no songs from it are in the set list. And those are good songs, too. But I guess for Wolves in the Throne Room, like, all of their songs are like 15 minutes apiece. So they can only play like 5 or 6 at a time, so there you go. But yeah, absolutely, Wolves in the Throne Room. Saw some people that I hadn't seen in several months, and met up with the person that I'm trying to get to sing on my upcoming song, because, like I said, trying to get some female vocals. She says she's in the choir, and has been for years, so I'm like, light bulb. Hey, how would you like to sing on a doom metal song? So there you go. Let's see. My mom yelled at me when I said, "Do you know obituary?" because she thought I said the B word. Obituary. Or you could say it like John Tardy. Obituary! How do you like my John Tardy impression? That's how I think he sounds. Seriously, imagine the Tardy household at Christmas time. "Hey kids, did Santa eat all the cookies? Do you like your presents?" You know what I mean? What does Mike Smith do these days? Does he still play music? He has a project, and I can't remember the name of it, but I think he gives drum lessons on his website. I could be wrong. _ hey, I'm a bit late, but hi. Hey, how you doing, man? Thank you for dropping in. Dark Warrior, hey, man. What do you think about Slipknot? Good if you're 12, but if you're past high school, I was done with them. So, there you go. One time I was wearing my Rust and Peace shirt, and my friend asked if I was emo. Nice. First time I heard Obituary, I died laughing because of the vocals. Well, I think the vocals are a strong point for Obituary, because all those other death metal bands, they want to do those deep, guttural vocals, and then you have John Tardy, who's doing this, like, scream growl type thing. It's distinct. You hear him, and you instantly know that it's Obituary. That's what I like. I like distinct identities in bands. Yeah, that's why it drives me crazy when these bands release the same album over and over and over. I want distinction. The first Deicide album, you didn't hear vocals like that on other death metal. You know? Okay, so what else? I guess we're going to talk about the YouTube ad blocker thing. Oh yeah, everybody's going to love me for this. So, YouTube is implementing this new rule that if they detect an ad blocker on your browser, they're going to basically ban you from the website after you get caught 3 times with it, from what I understand. And people are up in arms about it, and they're wanting to do VPNs to kind of stay away from it. And the thing is, like, you know, this is the way us YouTubers get paid, is if you watch the ads, or if you subscribe to YouTube Premium. I actually get more money from YouTube Premium than if somebody's watching and they don't have YouTube Premium. And I'm not going to get into the economics of the channel, but as far as the ads, that's how YouTubers get paid. So if it's an ad that's 10 seconds, 20 seconds, I will watch it all the way through. If it's 30 seconds, if I'm not in a hurry, I'll watch it all the way through. If it's a minute or longer than a minute, yeah, those are the ads I skip. So I think what YouTube can do to curb this issue is just make shorter ads. Because I find that people are more likely to watch the ads if they're shorter. I've seen ads that were 5 minutes. I saw an ad once that was an hour long. It was basically a video from this college, I guess, this TED Talk video that somehow became an ad. I don't know how the hell it became an ad, but nobody wants to sit through that. On the other hand, I'm curious, if somebody watches an hour-long ad, how much does that YouTuber get paid for it? Because here's the thing, the ads, as much as we hate them, they're a necessary evil. That's the way that the website is going to keep running. You know, like if there's no revenue, the website's going to sink. And you would know this if you ever tried to run a website. You know, I just on principle, I try not to skip ads because I'm a YouTuber. And I don't want people skipping my ads if they can help it, because that's how I get paid. So that's the same mentality I go into when I'm watching somebody else's videos. Now, there are days when I'm in a hurry and I don't have time to watch a goddamn 2-minute ad. I just don't. You know, like if I'm looking up a recipe for cheese biscuits, since I've been making cheese biscuits a lot lately from scratch. Like, I don't, it's like, okay, so how much flour are we supposed to use? Oh, god damn it, I don't have 2 minutes. Tell me how much fucking flour we're supposed to use. So, you know, like, people can get up in arms about the ads and, oh yeah, ad blockers. We're gonna move to different platforms. Well, you know what? The different platforms, they're using ads too. And they're gonna use them more and more if more people upload, because think about it, with YouTube, thousands of hours of content get uploaded every minute. Okay, you need a lot of bandwidth to pay for that. So, there you go. I mean, what's gonna suck is if they start doing what Netflix does, where you pay for the fucking subscription and they show you ads anyway. That shit is bullshit. You pay for the subscription to get away from the ads. Now, I don't know many people with YouTube Premium, so I don't know if they do that with YouTube yet. But with Netflix, I heard that that's what they do, so there you go. It stinks, but it is what it is. Okay, let's get back to the comments. See how many people are screaming at me. Hey, Killbot, love your hair. Why, thank you. Couldn't find myself. Stop listening to Cocteau Twins. Heaven to Las Vegas. Heaven to Las Vegas. You like my Liz Fraser impression? Did you see Depeche Mode this tour? No, I did not, because those fuckers aren't coming anywhere near me. Tickets are ridiculously expensive. $150 to sit on the side of the stage. Oh, did any of you see the fucking Tool tickets that went on sale? They're coming to Charlotte. And I was sitting at the computer the minute the tickets became available. And the 101 seats, which were what I wanted, were $125. I saw tickets that were $250 and $350, brand new. And a few minutes later, when resale tickets became available, I saw one that was $550. There's no son of a bitch in the world I'd pay that much money to see. See, this is why I love metal shows. Wolves in the Throne Room was the last show I went to see. I think I paid $35, tax included, and had the fucking time of my life. Saw 4 bands, enjoyed the atmosphere, enjoyed the intimacy, saw a bunch of people I hadn't seen in a while. With Tool, it's like, you know, I love Tool. I enjoy big shows. But there's no son of a bitch in the world I'd pay more than $100 to see. Just as a basic principle, $100 is my personal cutoff. Now, I could pay $55 for one of the balcony seats. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But I saw the ticket prices that day and I said, you know, Tool was pretty important to me when I was younger and I still love them to death, but looks like I'm just not going to see Tool. Where's Robert Smith when you need him? You know, if bands like the fucking Cure can sell cheaper tickets and say no to these insane, exorbitant resale ticket prices, then why the fuck aren't other bands negotiating that in their contracts? Come on now. God, thank you, Robert Smith, for showing bands and showing the world that, no, this aggression will not stand, man. $25 for t-shirts. I was more than happy to buy a Cure t-shirt. Because it wasn't a fucking $50 t-shirt you can get at an Alice Cooper show. Fuck that shit. Thinking of getting into collecting CDs over records. Any tips on how to start? What kind of CD player is good? I don't even have a CD player. I basically rip the CDs into my laptop and I make sure to rip them into high quality because I just listen to them on my headphones anyway. So there you go. Every once in a while, I got these speakers right here. These are Behringer Truths. And these are actually what I use to mix my music on now. But, yeah, real crisp sounding speakers. Like, I feel like as long as you have a high enough quality rip, as long as you have good monitors and good acoustic treatment, you're good to go. And also good headphones. I use Audio-Technicas, and they are the best headphones I've ever owned. I used to have a pair of Sennheisers, and they were incredible. The problem with the Sennheisers was that they were bulky, and they were heavy. Basically, the Audio-Technicas are everything I loved about the Sennheisers, except that they aren't as heavy as the Sennheisers. So, the Audio-Technicas win. Netflix is garbage, Amazon Prime all the way, son. I'm more of an HBO Max guy myself. Like, most of the stuff I want to watch is on HBO. Do you enjoy any new noise rock bands? Well, I've been trying to get into some Swans lately. I have most of their stuff up to about 1997. The only CD I'm missing is The Burning World. I have it digitally. My favorite Swans albums are The Great Annihilator, White Light at the Mouth of Infinity, and Love of Life. Those three. And the really early stuff I'm having a hard time getting into. Like, I thought maybe it would be easy for me to get into Swans because I'm a big Godflesh fan, but for some reason it just didn't pan out. I don't know what happened. Bass player, I have YouTube Premium and I don't see any ads yet, but I hope they don't do that. It's not just the ad blocker, it's the Facebook like profile, and they keep demonetizing you and keep all the money from the ads. Of course. Oh, of course. Oh, hey Hudson, how you doing, man? 6:12. Oh, fuck, we're 4 minutes behind on the comments. See, I'm just trying to get to everybody while I can. I pay for Hulu and I have to watch 2-minute ads in between each episode, but I can make it slide because it's the second greatest cartoon of all time, The Amazing World of Gumball. Like, HBO is part of my phone plan, so that's why I watch it sometimes, but to be honest with you, I just don't watch a lot of TV and movies. All of my viewing pretty much is YouTube. So there you go. I mean, I do have a movie and Blu-ray and DVD collection, but I barely even watch those. Like, I own those just in case they're not on HBO. Actually, the last movie purchase I made was, and I can show you. It is the Best Buy Steelbook edition of Natural Born Killers, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a 4K disc, so some year when I have access to a 4K TV, I will watch it. My mother owns a 4K TV, so next time I visit, I'm gonna bring it with me. I was talking to somebody about marriage recently, and I said, you know, marriage is pretty overdone. You know, a lot of people get married in churches and at waterfronts and on rivers. Nobody really gets married like in Natural Born Killers, you know, with where they're cutting each other's hands and letting the blood mix. That's pure, you know. I think I mentioned in the last live stream that this donut shop, Voodoo Donut in Portland, you can get married in the donut shop. And at first I was like, you know, why the hell would you want to get married in a fucking donut shop? But marriages, weddings, they're overdone in churches, so why not get married in a damn donut shop? It's fun, it's avant-garde, it's real, I guess. YouTube has run at a loss since its inception, even before it was bought by Google. YouTube makes its money by selling user profiling info. The user is the product. Yep. I want to see Tool so bad, but the tickets are expensive. Yes. Dude, a friend of mine saw Tool and said it sucked. It's way too expensive, and half the people there were undercover cops that were literally dragging people out of there. Ah, fuck that shit. You paid $100 for the lane, got VIP, early entry, an acoustic show, and a photo shoot. I splurged because they're my favorite band. Well, hey, that's the idea. You know, how much is a concert ticket worth for you? If it's worth it to pay $100, you pay $100. But if your personal line is $50, then, you know, depends on how bad you want to see the band. Yurikai. My respect for Robert Smith went up so much after he did that. That was one of the best shows I've ever seen. Mitsu. Easily one of the top 10 best shows I ever saw. Like, he played favorite song after favorite song after favorite song. Now if fucking Susie will come and do a tour, I would love to go see that. Heaven or Las Vegas. Tool is a snooze fest. Nah, man. Listen to Third Eye. Third Eye, I feel like, is one of the best songs you can ever hear because it's just so encompassing. 13 minutes and not a second of it's wasted. There have been a couple times where I've used that song to help me go to sleep, if you can believe it. Gilbot, what's your favorite Beavis and Butthead episode? My favorite Beavis and Butthead episode is... it's the prank call episode. It's Harry Sack! It's Harry Sack! You want the way that sounds funny, man? Oh, what was the other one? Bong Holio, Lord of the Harvest. I used to watch that every Halloween. And since Halloween's around the corner, I used to watch the Kiss appearance on Mad TV every Halloween. Used to watch Dawn of the Dead every Halloween. Used to listen to King Diamond's Them every Halloween. Used to be a tradition, but the older I got, the less traditions seemed fun for me, so I just do what I do every day now. Natural Born Killers thing is for a divorce court, a real cesspool of the legal profession. I prefer criminal defense. Criminals may be dumb, but most aren't crazy. Have you watched Breaking Bad? Yes. I prefer Sopranos myself. Since you're seeing Skinny Puppy again, will you do a part 2? I will absolutely do a part 2, and I already have a name for it. Skinny Puppy, the final brap in Los Angeles. I hope like hell that they're going to record a live album and release it. It'd be even better if we had a live Blu-ray, but a live album? Holy shit. Like, it's always been a dream of mine to be at a show where a live album's being recorded. Obituary released that album, 10,000 Ways to Die. Most of those songs were live tracks. And they got most of the dates. The date they didn't get that they toured at was Raleigh, North Carolina. I was like, fuck! No, it might have been Wellington. Who else? Cradle of Filth. They released a live album. Some of those songs were from the tour that I saw them on. And again, no Durham, North Carolina. So fuck. That sucks. But someday, maybe it'll happen. Maybe it'll happen with Skinny Puppy. Okay, I would like to take a quick reminder to tell everybody that if you haven't seen my latest video, We Are the Wounds, The Return of Agalloch, go see it. Even if you're not a fan of Agalloch, you might be by the end of the video. Trust me, they did so much for me on that trip. Killbot, do you know the Birthday Massacre? Yes, I do. Band did a live album here in Ecuador. Oh, that's cool. What's your thoughts on the album Brat by Skinny Puppy? Which one? Back and Forth Volume 2, that was released in 1992. That was a demo album that was re-released, and it was interesting just to hear the precursors of the band. That's mostly what Kevin uploads on his Patreon and on his Bandcamp these days, are just cassettes and noodles and demos that never made it to the albums. Personally, I think Volumes 3 and 4 was a great set because, well, some of those are remixes of existing songs. It's a great set. Let's see, what else? So, we're talking about social media and the internet. How about this no space thing that's appearing now? People are nostalgic for MySpace, so there's a app now called No Space, where basically it looks kind of like MySpace did in the 2000s. Now, I was too young to have a MySpace, so I didn't bother with any of that. But, you know, I like what they're doing with this. Because it's not like all of the other websites on the internet right now. They all look like grids. They're all black and white and gray, and there's no personality to it. MySpace, I didn't even have it, but it had personality. You could customize so much about it. You know, I miss forums. I miss discussion boards. I really miss the IMDb discussion boards. I read those all the fucking time, and they're gone now. Like, the internet just doesn't really have any personality now. So yes, like, I'm probably not going to sign up for No Space, but I admire the hell out of the sentiment that's behind it. You know, they're bringing personality and color back into social media. Fuck it. Yeah, that's what I'm into. Instead of this TikTok shit. Hate that fucking shit. God, people ask me if I'm on TikTok all the time, and I say, look, I value my brain cells too much. And friends of mine send me TikTok videos all the time, and I'm like, you know I'm not going to look at that shit. Please don't send it to me anymore. And they keep doing it anyway. I don't know. They're probably not hearing me because, you know, their mouth is full of somebody's balls. I don't know. Missed out on MySpace, but I have no nostalgia for either High Five or early 2010s Facebook. What pisses me off is that nostalgia is for 20 and 30 years ago, and 10 years ago, people were nostalgic for the 90s. Now, we're getting people who are nostalgic for the 2000s. I lived through it. I have no desire to go back to the 2000s. No! No! Leave that shit there! Please! Those fucking plaid shorts that everybody wore for 5 minutes? Yeah, I had a pair of those, and I should have been slapped for owning one. Damn it. Speaking of live albums, what's your favorite? Personally, I love Tool's Salival. My favorite live album of all time is 9 Inch Nails, Live and All That Could Have Been. So much energy. Incredible performance, and I say that a lot of those recordings are probably better than the studio versions. They are, at least for the Pretty Hate Machine stuff. Sin and Terrible Lie are just... Trent Reznor was seething with rage that entire album. I never get tired of listening to it. It's a great exercise album, and it's a great driving album. Just be careful about speeding, you know? I hate TikTok also. I'd personally rather not download Chinese malware. Well, the thing is, like, most websites and most social media sites harvest and sell your data. Like, somebody was talking to me about that a few months ago, but all websites do that. You know, it's not just the social media websites. And that's what we are. We are the product, I guess. It sucks, but hey, this is what happens when things aren't being regulated like they're supposed to be. My sister-in-law's brother is so addicted to TikTok that the dude rotted his brain to the point where he skips songs after 15 seconds. Dude, I miss when society wasn't dominated by fucking smartphones, and I'm guilty of it too. Like, I've gotten better about not being on my phone as much, but man, like, so many people are on their damn phones all day fucking long, and it's like, how does anybody get anything done? Like, there's a reason I'm not on Facebook, because I value my time, and I'd rather not spend my time doom scrolling. You know? Like, I'll message people back if they message me, but that's... I have things to do in my life, like go outside, exercise, explore, be productive, make songs, make videos, read, watch movies. Even watching movies is better than sitting on your damn phone. I used to get so goddamn annoyed. I'd have friends over. We'd watch movies that they'd never seen, and they'd be on their damn phone the whole time. I'm like, get off your fucking goddamn phone! It's Rocky! You know? Not gonna lie, you're kind of like if Weird Al was a metalhead. Anyway, I'm gonna watch your new video after the stream. Yes, please watch the new video, We Are the Wounds, The Return of Agalok. It's genuinely one of my favorite videos I've done now. And there were a few things I had to cut from the video that I didn't necessarily want to cut. But that's the thing about editing. It's always give and take. And I made, like, all the background music you hear in the video, I did it. I made 4 new songs specifically for the video. 3 of them are meant to sound like Agalok. 1 of them I made for the Goth Night segment. And I happened to pick just the right tempo, where when I synced the song to the video, everybody in the video was dancing to the beat of the song. I didn't plan that. It just happened that way. Loved it. And the nice thing about videos and doing a multimedia format is you can show a lot of what you're talking about. So in the narration, like the way I script my videos, I'm scripting them like I'm writing a blog post. And when I do the videos, sometimes I'll cut parts of the narration because I'm showing what I'm talking about on screen. So I can let the video speak for itself. And in that case, I can tell you an example. There was a part, the Goth Night part actually. I was talking about how there were 2 floors, there was a band playing that night, it had a great atmosphere, there was fog everywhere, the people were nice. Yeah, I could have left the narration in, but why? It's on screen. Just show you that there's 2 floors, show you that there's a band playing, show you that the atmosphere is cool. So, there you go. I just let the video speak for itself. Same thing with the Japanese garden. I was talking about how relaxing the Japanese garden was, but why show you? Let the video speak for itself. The Japanese garden is untouched by narration. The only thing you hear is this little pseudo rendition of Agalok's The Lodge that I drummed up in GarageBand that ended up accidentally sounding like By Starlight by the Smashing Pumpkins. So there you go. Doom Machine. Your recent video is honestly my favorite video you've done so far. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And even cooler, John Hom from Agalock. I sent him the link to the video. And since it's such a long video, I told him the timestamps if he wanted to just skip to the band parts and the show parts. He ended up watching the whole goddamn video. I did not expect that. Very cool of him. He was like, dude, you eat a lot of pizza. Yeah, I guess I do. And he also told me that I unknowingly went to an Agalock spot, a Voodoo Donut. It turns out it used to be a venue in the 90s, and that's where Agalock played their first show. Now, obviously, it's now a donut place, but I had no idea. So, yeah. Oh, and the little part about the Horse Brass pub where I imagined where the band was sitting. He said, dude, we sat everywhere in that pub. Our favorite part's like by the big window in some corner somewhere. Yeah, that was just really cool that he took the time to watch that. He did not have to do that. The only person I couldn't find so I could send it to, I couldn't find Don Anderson. So I couldn't send it to him, but maybe someday I'll get the chance to. Sent the links to Jason and Hunter, and I don't think they've had a chance to see it, so I don't know. If they see it, cool. If not, whatever. You know, I'm not over here attention seeking. I just want to share my art because I put a lot of heart and soul into it. You know, that was a very heartfelt video. Probably more than I've ever done. I'm not some bummer who hates all social media, but that's at the same time, this technology is annoying. It's a tool and you have to know how to use it, you know? My favorite Killbot video is the 1000 CD collection. Really? So, fun trivia about that video. I shot that video in 4 parts, I think. And I didn't expect it to be 2 hours long, but it ended up being that long by total accident. So, I was like, well, if you guys want a long video on it, here, you can have a long video. And people ate it the fuck up. I definitely appreciated the ad revenue. Let's just say that. How many CDs do you have now? I dare say I have 1,300 now. I slowed down on the CD buying a bit because I've been going to so many shows and going on trips, so I'm head out, dudes. Y'all have a rad evening. Hey, thank you so much for joining in, man. Just watched the last video. You do pretty well on the dating apps, eh? Well, I did well in Portland. In North Carolina, it's a completely different scene because you can't really find metalheads that easy on the dating apps here. But in Portland, they're everywhere. Gorgeous, gorgeous women, even if they're not into metal. You can find them on all dating apps. And with the dating apps here, it's like, you know, everybody drinks way too fucking much. I can't stand it. I see these fucking women with giant beers and giant wine glasses and giant bourbon glasses, and I can't stand it. Like, I don't want to be with somebody who drinks, but if I have to be with somebody who drinks, make it be like a glass of wine once a month during dinner or something. Like, I don't want to be with somebody who's like, oh, I'm partying, I'm getting wasted. I can't stand that shit. But these women, you know, I had a genuinely good time with them. You know, I went to see a movie with one of them, went to an art exhibit with another one. That's how you make memories. You know, those are valuable experiences, not sitting on the couch, doom scrolling together. That's not being present. That's not being together. That's bullshit. I can do that by myself. Fuck that shit. It's cool how Agalock are a really important band, massively influential, and they do stuff like watching your video. Dude, I was impressed that they were setting up their own merch. Like, if they wanted to, they could have hired people to set up merch for them. No, not merch. Set up gear. Yeah, they were setting up their amps, setting up their guitar pedals. Like, they did not have to do that. They could have paid somebody to do it, but they did it themselves. But yeah, you wouldn't have bands like Wolves on the Throne Room and a lot of these black metal bands in the United States without Agalock. So, like Chemist, you probably wouldn't have Chemist without Agalock. But yeah, very cool dudes. And yeah, amazing video. Hey Tony, what's the best CD find you've had? The best CD find I've ever gotten, I was in McKay's once, saw Guar's The Road Behind, the EP. It was about $5. and I bought it because I knew it was rare. I planned on flipping it on eBay. What stopped me from doing it was when I looked in the booklet, saw it was signed by Dave Rocky. Yeah, my hero signed this CD. Needless to say, that fucker did not go on eBay. That thing is right here, actually. Hold up. It's on the tower that's closest to me. See, Guar, The Road Behind. I love telling this story because there's so many autographed CDs in the bins at McKay's. I can't believe how many people trade in their autographed stuff. I found a Marilyn Manson autographed DVD once, and I bought it, and I sold it, which I regret doing now. But yeah, so many autographed things. Like, if I'm going to get my stuff autographed, I'm not trading it or selling it. And if I do, it's not going to be at some fucking place like McKay's where I'm only going to get like 50 cents for the shit. Fuck that. But yeah, Sly Menstra and Dave Brocky. Their signatures right here. It's one of my most prized possessions. I visited Dave's grave earlier this year, and you probably saw the video on that. And then when I saw Frontline Assembly a couple months later, I went to visit it again. So there you go. Okay, we are at an hour and 37 minutes, so I guess it's time to be wrapping this up pretty soon. So, if anybody has any super chats or any questions or anything you'd like to say, please come on and say it, because we're wrapping it up, baby. I'm going to have a nice fucking pizza, and tomorrow morning I'm going to go to Asheville, and I'm going to see Ghoul! It's going to be fucking awesome. Brother found a Misfits shirt at Ross. Yep, you can find Misfits shirts anywhere. Proudest CD you have is Incantation's Blasphemy, which is my second favorite album by them. Oh, that's cool. You should visit Seth's grave again and tell him dying is gay. The comment section for that video is funny, because there are a few people who are like, oh, well, he doesn't have to try too hard to be gay for this. It's like, I'm straight, dude. I'm as straight as it gets. But anyway. Planning to get some metal merch of some of my favorite bands. Should I get Rain and Blood or Peace Sells? Get something that maybe 1 million people aren't already wearing. I don't know. Love your industrial music video. Despite my brutal mispronunciations of band names, I think I did pretty good. Thank you for that. Well, I made it somewhat early. I normally make it late. Well, that's good. That's good. Thank you for joining. What's your favorite Velvet Underground single? Probably Heroin. I don't know if that was a single, but it's a real gritty song. I'm into stuff like that. Okay, wrapping it up. So, any final words from anybody? Please come on and say so. It's going to be grind on time pretty soon. And yes, I will try to stream more often now that streaming is more functional and I got vacations to pay for. So let's do it. Time to go. See you next time. Come on. Thank you. Thank you so much. Love your videos so much. This is the first live stream I've been able to watch fully. Well, that's good. Been able to get a worm long, so that's cool. Since you like Doom, what about Quake? Quake 1 is amazing. Hadn't played anything after that, though. Alright. Anybody else? Anyone at all? Your first metal show was Nabla Viscaris. I saw them open for Winter Sun a couple years ago. Ever thought about doing a Morbid Angel video? I would do one on the albums up to Gateways, but I wouldn't go any further than that. Bye, bass player. Alright, anyone else? Well, for those who want merch, I have shirts available on Amazon and my Bandcamp. And you can buy them directly from me on social media if you would like one. And also, I have stickers and patches. $6.66 a piece. Free shipping anywhere in the world. You can buy them on Etsy, you can buy them on Bandcamp, or you can buy them directly from me if you have PayPal. So, Be sure to check those out. So, thank you all very much, and grind on.